I never read the book, all right? I tried to. They need to fucking update it, all right? They update iTunes every 6 days. Can we update the language and make it a little more user-friendly? I think all of that shit comes from the church. They just fucking brainwash you. You know? You come, no, don't clap, don't clap. I don't read. Follow someone else. I'm telling you. They brainwash you. Come into the church, your brain's all empty. They just fill it up like a jelly donut. Just brainwash you. Say what we say when we say it. Say it again, then you can go home to your toys. All right, I'll say it. I'll say it again. Now can I go home to my toys?
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on what side of the world you're in. I'm HalfLifeSistah, and this is my hubby Wolf Kane.
Everybody.
Welcome to my channel and to another episode of Sistah and Wolf Reaction. We're back with another patron request presented to you by Gustav.
Ginger, baby.
Yes, Ginger, indeed.
Gustav was nice enough to give us a list of songs, and when I saw this on there, baby. I'm like, yeah, that's a no-brainer.
Yeah, because we have heard Ginger Pisces.
Right.
The very first.
And of course, I speak it.
Second reaction we did.
That's a great introduction to Tatiana.
I agree 100%.
But then we did also hear astronomy. I speak astronomy.
Did we ever?
I loved it on the second try.
You did.
So I had to do a redo on that edit.
It's okay.
So I'm going to try my best to open my earlobes, my ear holes, so I hear the music properly the first time around.
Yes. I mean, and it's okay.
I'm going to nail it.
No, just breathe in it, breathe through it, and just relax and become part of the music.
Yeah, for sure. So, teacher is what we're gonna do today. I just noticed our colors are matching.
Well, of course.
Did you do that on purpose? Is that what you told me?
I dressed him. He's always like, "What am I wearing?" I'm like, "You're wearing that."
Okay, all right.
Because I wanted to try to be a part of the environment.
It actually looks pretty cool. All right.
Thank you.
All right. Well, we got a merch store in the description. I don't know what the song's about, but we will dive into the lyrics a little bit afterwards.
Okay,
I just want to hear it and experience it and see what's up.
I do too.
All right.
Thank you, Gustav. I hope you're doing well, baby. You're so wonderful. Gustav also joins me during Twitch when he can, when I'm streaming. So
nice.
I love you, baby. Thank you for the love and support. Really
appreciate you for sure.
I'm gonna be streaming this Friday, my loves. I'm gonna be doing a versus reaction.
Let's go.
I can't do this anymore.
Whenever you're ready.
I can't talk anymore.
It's on you.
I'm ready.
It's not my fault this time.
Your eyes are burning the side of my face. All right, you ready, baby?
Yes.
Let's do it. Yes. Back to it. Poof. Get excited. This is Ginger. Yeah. Their drums are always so good.
Take your seats, open up your Bibles. I'm gonna chase on survival, so keep your eyes wide open. The young soul lost control, make your first fall. This is my duty to set the bounds.
Bit of a different vocal style there.
She clapped my hand, took me and placed me in front of the class. She gave me hands, I was in glow of the mass. I'm in the middle of the holy of holies. I have no worries. I saw the icons on the wall. I saw needles and stones. So she put a paper bag on my hand.
Her voice.
She pointed a finger at me and then she said,
Dear Lord, forgive me as I'm slapping this
Wow.
As we accept that this is from no one.
When the prejudice lies down, wasted from beyond our ground. Don't let the school make a fool of you, because the teachers make the fools too. When the prejudice lies down, wasted from beyond our ground. Don't let the school make a fool of you.
Yes, baby, bring it home. This is a beautiful song. Love this. Yes. Ooh. They're doing this right now. Huh.
Your idol scream to me, throwing shame on my face. As I turn away from infamy and disgrace, I smile to you, 'cause I want you to see how I break the rules in front of your Trinity. Your idol scream to me, throwing shame on my face, as I turn away from infamy and disgrace. Oh, I smile to you, I smile to you, I smile to you.
Good job. Do that. Nice. Damn. Okay.
What was that thing we were heard at the end? Was that her saying something in that beat? What was that?
I don't know. That they got a little progressive there though. They're not. They're black metal. Wait, what are they? Wait, are they progressive?
Just throw a bunch of stuff out and eventually you'll land on something. Just calls them a heavy metal band. That's what I'm saying. I think it's just the new wave of American heavy metal. Because that's a lot like what they sound like Lamb of God and stuff like that. That's you don't know who Lamb of God is, but her vocal styling is very similar to Lamb of God.
I'm just so blown away by how young these musicians and singers and the bands, people in the bands are, but they're so affluent in what they do, and they're just so smart. Like, they are really, really good.
When you make a song like this, I mean, the things that are special is I guess why you would listen to it. So, you know, Tatiana's balance of the cleans and the harshes.
Oh man.
She even almost like borderline raps in the song. It's kind of like a very kind of hip hoppy kind of attitude that she's putting in at certain points. And I wonder if that has to do with what the song's about, so I'd like to read the lyrics and see.
Okay, baby.
But then also, you know, the interludes in the middle where, you know, you change up the song
They
a little
have
bit.
those breakdowns in their songs that are so sweet, and it's so refreshing, and it's like, you know, you were kind of, without knowing, was waiting for it, and you needed it in that moment. I love it. I just love their transitions, and I just think it's a really, really smart band.
I just like how they put the bass front and center in that interlude.
Absolutely.
And really made it come out. I thought that was really pretty.
We're here.
And her singing voice is very nice.
The thing is,
her growl is also very nice. Her harsh vocal is very nice also.
And how she's able to switch between the two. Like,
yeah, it's
so
very natural for her.
Guys.
But yeah, of all the women who do that, I find Tatiana's vocals to probably be my favorite.
Really? I was totally going to ask you.
I really do like her tone.
Because you've heard more female singers that sings harshly like that than I have.
Yeah, I really like her tone. I really like when you really just kind of get into it and you really just pay attention to the little details.
Yes. Right.
They're very pleasing.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, yeah, she does a very good job. She's a very good singer.
I agree, baby. And when I'm hearing people that do the harsh growls, that's what you call it, right?
Yeah, harsh vocals. or
Harsh
whatever you wanna call it.
vocals. It isn't always so sweet and crisp and clear, and her is like butter. It's like her harsh is so clean and so beautiful. I think she absolutely is probably the best. She is the best female harsh singer I've ever heard.
If I try to describe it, and this is what I noticed in I Speak Astronomy when I started listening to it over and over again, which is why I had to do the amendment on that particular reaction, was I noticed that, you know, when you do harsh, you make your voice obviously harsh. There's a certain hoarseness to it.
Gotcha.
It seems like that hoarseness is not there when she does it. It seems like a very natural harsh where it feels like there's no resistance.
You
know, like the production value is very high.
It's so relaxed and so. It's hard to explain.
Which is interesting because
yes.
I'm not even sure if I hear that from the men when they do that. Like there's just a certain smoothness to her harsh.
I know, babe.
That the edge is kind of taken off, and it just kind of seems like she's not really forcing it.
100%.
Which is very unusual for when you consider what it is she's doing.
I agree.
So
exactly. Thank you
it could
for
be an
that.
effect. It could be something, that tone or something that I'm missing. But that's just the vibe I get when I listen to it, which is what makes it stand out to me.
I'm glad you said that. I agree 117%. Now, let's get to these lyrics.
Well, the title already is very interesting. Teacher. And it's basically, from what it looks like here, good evening kids, take your seats, open up your Bibles. So it looks like it's taking place in a Catholic school.
Gotcha.
She grabbed my hand, she took me in, placed me in front of the class. Dear Lord, forgive me as I'm slapping the sinful child. By your hand I'm led, so I will show what is wrong and what is right. Choose your label, cause I'm merciful. Put your knuckles on the table, meet my friend Fruel, who will punish you. Now, I'm assuming to meet the knuckles on the table, she probably hit it with the ruler.
Yeah.
So, you know, back in the day, Catholic nuns used to...
Not just them, but even in elementary school, the principal would freaking paddle us if we did something wrong.
Yeah, back in the day. Obviously, that's a big no-no nowadays.
A nay and a nine and a niet.
But yeah, it sends the wrong message, and...
It does. Abuse is not right in no form, period.
Well, physical or mental, right? Because there certainly can be mental abuse as well.
Abuse. Exactly.
And you mindfuck these children and then wonder why they got issues when they grow up.
Exactly.
And God, just Catholic Church, just how
disgusting.
I mean, Catholic school.
Oh my God.
I mean, an institution for brainwashing. You know,
it really,
it's
really
like
is, and an institution that protects.
Let's
the
not
priest.
give these children a chance. Let's
not give them a chance.
them a weak foundation to form all their opinions.
They do not
on.
have a voice. Okay, if they're abused, we keep it covered up. You know, they don't have a voice. You know.
No, it's just everything they teach is stupid. Like trying to teach a teenager who hits puberty abstinence. Like what do you do? And then you wonder why Catholic girls are so easy, because they're trying to rebel against the thing that they're telling them that their very nature is flawed. And instead of just educate them on hormones and that this is all natural and you have to be concerned and talk about pregnancy and safe sex and things like that. Instead of doing that, it's just like, you know what, just don't do it and don't worry about it, and then you got nothing to worry about. It's so dumb.
It's so dumb.
Everything they teach is so dumb.
You know, and I wonder if this is the reason why our daughter turned out so well, is because we were very, very honest, especially me, about
like beyond the point that she wanted you to be.
Yes. So, and I expressed to her that this is whatever you're feeling. Trust me, I've been there, done that. I felt it. I experienced it. It's all natural. Talk to me. You know.
Yeah. Don't feel like you.
Don't feel like you're an other or there's something wrong with you.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with you. Just let's talk about it.
Just fine.
Yeah. Laws chalked on the blackboard.
Lost. LOST.
Laws. You know, God laws.
Oh, laws. Okay.
Can't be erased until it gets boring. The lady spoke and then she choked. On the convictions, oh so alluring. She made a pause in her verbal overdose. My paper bag slipped down on the floor. I took a look around. There was no sanctuary. Desks empty. The school was all imaginary. The way this is being written, it sounds like this is coming from Tatiana's own experience.
Yeah, I think I was thinking the same thing. That's which is why I'm like, I'm thinking.
Or somebody's experience, because whoever wrote this song
personal.
is, this seems personal. Like this is an experience they actually went through, because it's oddly specific with the whole paper bag and everything.
I agree.
Teacher, self-proclaimed preacher, under the flag of welfare, your lectures start to blare. We need no soap shoved down our throats. Obviously, if you curse, they used to wash your mouth out with soap. You know, we don't curse a lot on this show for because we choose not to. But if I say the word fuck, for example, it's just a word. It literally has the meaning that you give on it, which is basically what the whole issue with religion is that you're giving meaning to whatever it is you want to give meaning to. This is entirely in your head and completely made up. So you are basically giving power to things that you don't have to give power to. Because the only things that matter, it's just the only things that matter is
your intent
science,
and what you feel.
Is reality, is things that are real. And anything else is simply something you are imposing on yourself. So if I say the word shit or fuck or goddamn and somehow that offends you, that is a self-imposed offense, because literally I'm making the same words that I did when I said those curse words that I'm saying now. So why is what I'm saying now not offending you? It's literally that meaningless in the sense that it's just noises being created by the windpipe. And certainly the meaning matters, right? So words matter, so how you use them matter, but simply saying the word shouldn't offend you. Now, if I'm telling you to go F yourself, right? Sure, certainly you could take offense to that because I'm, in a sense, attacking you or blowing you off or whatever, or somehow offending you personally. But just the words in and of themselves without any context should literally have no meaning.
I agree 100%.
Yeah.
Thank you, teacher. Teach on. Teach on, baby.
So when their prejudice let us down, we stand firmly on our ground. Don't let their school make a fool of you, because the teacher may be fools too.
That's the part I kept getting when I was listening to the song.
I think that was the chorus, because that was the only part we could actually understand, because she sung it cleanly. When their prejudice let us down, we stand firmly on our ground. Don't let their school make a fool of you.
I think
I love that.
I love it as well.
Chorus.
Yeah, and I think that this is not as specific as we may think. I think there's a lot of different messages in here, but I think this is more of a broader type of thing, and that goes beyond just one personal experience with maybe her or someone she knows, but like teachers can be the people of the world that are running and controlling the world.
Well, yes,
that are setting
through
laws and
this
rules.
example, she is basically explaining that don't just assume that someone is in a power of authority,
Yes,
that they
exactly.
somehow knows
everything. Excuse me.
right.
But yeah, like they know everything. That their word is law.
Because it says it right here. Don't let the school make a fool of you, because the teachers may be fools too.
Fools too,
That could be
exactly.
any position of authority. It could be your
Exactly.
parents.
Yes,
They could
which
be
my parents
complete
were
idiots.
fools.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel bad. They're never going to see this.
So
My mom, I would feel bad for her. My dad, he's a nobody to me.
easier said than done, though, right? Because you're the child. You're told that this is your authority figure.
Right.
Easier said than done.
And have you ever felt that your parents were idiots or didn't know what they were talking about? Maybe not you, because you had smart mom. Your mom was pretty smart.
Well, yeah, but I also, you know me. I don't. I figure out my own shit. But
Well, yeah, I always questioned everything, and that's why I
Yeah.
got a lot of beatings from my father, because out of all
let me
of
put it
my-
this way: I didn't have someone like you who was trying to shove shit down my throat.
Oh, yeah,
that's
they
what
were-
my parents
yes,
didn't do.
yes,
is
my
because-
father.
Yeah, my mom wasn't heavily
He
religious.
literally told me, I'm sorry, baby.
Go ahead.
She wasn't heavily religious. Go ahead. She wasn't heavily
No,
religious.
period. That's it. My mom wasn't heavily,
My
so she
parents
didn't
weren't
shove
either.
it down my throat.
No,
Yeah.
they didn't
She
shove,
didn't brainwash me.
No, I was introduced to religion afterwards. Like I was about 13, 14 years old. My friend, my brother's girlfriend at the time, was really heavily into it, and that's who introduced me to it. But my mom, they believed in God, but they weren't religious. Nonetheless, my father beat me a lot because I always questioned authority. I always
Mm-hmm.
asked questions. If things didn't make sense to me, didn't sound right, whatever. I'm like,
Or that
why
bullshit,
though?
do as I say, not as I
Right,
do
but
bullshit.
this exact. Oh my God, what's this whole thing? Yeah, this is
so
the
played.
old school.
Parents, if you're
Yeah,
still
do
using
as I
that,
say,
knock it
not as-
off. That is so played.
It's so ridiculous. It's so
Your kids
stupid
ain't
and
buying that bullshit.
We ain't buying it. So I got beatings on a regular because I always questioned. If it didn't make sense to me, I would understand why.
Yeah.
So he was my teacher.
He was your wannabe teacher.
He's a bad exactly.
He was your wannabe teacher.
Exactly. He's horrible. He's
Ay,
horrible.
ay, ay. And
Moving forward,
it's
not
so
sideways.
frustrating because dumb people don't know they're dumb.
They don't.
So it's hard to explain to someone that you shouldn't be in charge or you shouldn't be speaking or talking.
Like Trump.
And
Sorry.
well, and then there's the argument that, well, who are you? Because how do you know you're smart?
I'm smart.
And how do you write it? No, it's a valid argument, and I get
Yeah.
it. That's why it's something that I constantly think about, because there has to be a way to figure this out. I don't know why that's funny, but there has to be a way to figure this out because
How?
because we tolerate too much stupidity.
I agree.
And it tends to catch, things like flat Earth and stuff that have been,
Global warming.
so so definitively established and debunked. And I think that we can do something simpler. I think that, for example, freedom of speech is so important, and believe me, I believe it is extremely important.
I agree.
And I'm perfectly aware of the slippery slope, but I think that there has to be a certain point, and we always get to this certain point where, we get to a certain point where we mandate wearing seatbelts, right? Because we realize they save lives. And it's like, you know what? We want to have a free country. We want people to do their own thing and make their own choices. But at some point, we have to mandate that you have to click it or take it, right? You have to have a seatbelt. For a long time, it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen overnight. But we get to a certain point where we all collectively decide that's not a big deal. Mm-hmm. Because again, it's not about us. Like, we're lost causes. All us adults, we can try to improve, but most of us are stuck in our ways. But it's really for the generations coming up and what they're exposed to. And honestly, limiting them to religious doctrine and bullshit and make-believe will at least give them a chance to formulate opinions that maybe aren't so dumb. So I don't know how to solve that problem, because there's so many millions of people and there's no way. It has to flow, it has to flow naturally. It's like, there has to always be an overcorrection, and I think people tend to not realize that, like, when the right gets more racist, the left gets more anti-fascist or Antifa or whatever you want to call it, but that is an overreaction to what's happening on the right. One wouldn't be happening without the other. So you wouldn't have anti-fascists if there weren't fascists. And I think people tend to lose that understanding that these overcorrections happen because it is a wave and it's not a linear path, because the intelligence and the emotions of people on these sides varies so greatly. So it can't be a linear path where it's easy to understand. And people get hurt. Every time it goes to these swings, people getting hurt.
It's really sad,
And that's what's been weighing on me, and that's what's been weighing on us, is, what's going to happen in November? Is there going to be violence?
The first portion of that video began, it was my body-worn camera footage from the crypt area of the Capitol Rotunda. The first thing I remember was seeing a buddy of mine, Sergeant Bill Bogner. He was unable to see. He had been sprayed in the face with bear mace. And that's when he told me that the guys that were just beyond that set of double doors had been fighting there for, I believe he said about 30 minutes. I don't think he realized what time it was, because they've been fighting since around 1 p.m. It was 3 o'clock. So those guys have been there fighting for 2 hours unrelieved. Once I got up there, it was the first time I really came face to face with these terrorists. They were dressed in, clothing adorned with political slogans, "Make America Great Again," Donald Trump 2020, things of that nature. Quite a few had shields, which they had taken away from law enforcement officers, and they were using them to beat us at the front line. I fought there at the front for some time. We pushed those guys out of the tunnel, and I remember thinking to myself, man, it's good to get some fresh air. It was at that point that I was pulled off the line. They tortured me. They beat me. I was struck with a taser device at the base of my skull numerous times. And they continued to do so until I yelled out that I have kids. And I said that hoping to appeal to some of those individuals' humanity. And fortunately, a few did step in and intervene on my behalf. But at that point, I was unconscious. Based off the body-worn camera footage, it's believed that I was unconscious for approximately 4 minutes.
And it's like, because again, these swings, and we have someone in power who is acting like a teacher, thinks he knows everything, but what he's
People
in fact
believe
doing
him,
is
they trust him and they follow
what
him.
he's in fact doing is creating a culture of hate and violence. Well, I think people are starting to appreciate now, especially when he's doing the debate and he's basically telling people to stand back and stand by, and he simply can't de-escalate situations. He has nothing to lose. He's cheated on his taxes. He's done so much that he's at an age where he's going to die soon. He has nothing to lose. He does not care. He's YOLOing this shit. He only cares about staying in power, and he will say and do whatever he can.
And they don't
to do
answer
that,
to
to stay
anyone.
there.
This is the first presidency where they're not obligated to answer to no one.
Why is the rise of partisan mega identities a threat to democratic norms?
The Constitution wasn't written for parties. If you care only about whether your party wins or loses and you care about nothing else, then there is no governing There is no accountability, there's no impeachment. The only thing that matters is beating the other side and being winners again.
Because the Senate protects them. So the Republican Senate has decided collectively, well, they've decided collectively to simply maintain power by any means necessary, and so far they've been successful. So what the downside to that, and the ultimate result of that, is when they lose power, as with any dictator, as with anyone who's grasping for the last bits of power, is there's going to be violence, and that's ultimately what's going to happen. And it's really sad. And again, these are these shifts. And I think that what's interesting about the right, and the racist right in particular, is how I really do feel like they're looking at this as their last stand, because they've never had so much power in the last 60, 70 years than they do right now.
Yes, and they want to keep it. It feels good.
Well, the thing is, it's not that they just want to keep it. They never even knew they could have it this much.
I know.
They never knew it could be this good.
I understand.
So now the idea that they might have to give it up, because they've not gone away. They've always been around, right?
Of course.
So why is it suddenly that now they are everywhere and they've been exacerbated? It's because they've been giving permission, and now they've all got energized and excited. So you can't miss something that you didn't have. Now that you have it, it's going to be very hard to take it away. And you've seen the videos and stuff. They're not afraid of dealing
being
violence.
Exposed either.
One doesn't need to be racist in order to still be okay with a system that systematically oppresses non-white groups. And that's what's affiliated with the Republican Party. It's not that everyone in the party is a racist, it's that the party is not interested in addressing any type of systemic racism.
I don't know why. I don't know why they don't want to live happy lives,
because
and why they're willing to put their lives on the line for an ideology that doesn't even make sense.
Because to them it makes sense, and to them it is life.
I know, but then that goes back to the stupid part, because
yeah, that's the whole point you made. They stupid.
It's weird. So many poor people are supporting politicians who support. I don't understand.
So we have a new study from the University of No Shit. The title is 50 Years of Tax Cuts for the Rich Didn't Trickle Down, Study Says. The idea that, well, if you cut taxes for the wealthy, it trickles down to everybody else. This is trickle-down economics. This is Reaganomics. This has been tried in the United States repeatedly. Yeah, the idea is, oh my God, if you cut taxes for the wealthy, then all the benefits trickle down and everybody else is happier as well. They say a rising tide lifts all boats. And it's not true. It's simply not true. It doesn't trickle down. It turns out when you give wealthy people more money, they hoard that money. They hoard that wealth. That's what they do.
America's 664 billionaires now have a combined net worth of $4.2 trillion.
It's trying to put an intellectual veneer over what they're really doing, which is just giving wealthy people all the money. Like the real goal, I think, is to have wealthy elites get more money, which means in turn they get more power and political power, because money equals political power as well, because you can donate to the politicians, to the campaigns. So that's the real goal, and then they just pretended like, no, it's good to give me all the money because eventually it gets to you. Because I'll hire more people, I'll do a little bit of this, a little bit of that, next thing you know, everybody's happy. Doesn't happen.
The thing is, in a way we're doing it too, because Biden does support corporate America as well, and he's done so in the past.
Democrats will not reverse the Trump-era tax cuts for the wealthy, though they pretended at the time that they found those tax cuts for the rich objectionable. When it comes to how billionaires have been performing financially during this pandemic, new data indicates that billions have seen their collective wealth grow by $1.3 billion since the deadly pandemic began last year. It's important to understand that statistic. It's important to know about that, because every time a Democrat tells you they cannot reverse Trump's tax cuts, because of the pandemic, because we're in such a terrible economic situation, understand that they are lying to you.
Listen, we're going to replace Biden with someone better.
Hopefully someone.
But the thing is, we chose Biden because he's the most Republican candidate we have, and we're trying to get the swing voters away from Trump because we're trying to save America. It's not about Biden and how good he is. It's about they really chose him because they needed someone who could win with the people that might vote
and
for
Bernie would
for
not.
Trump.
I would have. Oh my God. Of course.
Well, the thing is, Bernie would have actually enacted actual change.
Yes.
But that's not what the right wants.
Didn't want
Remember,
that.
Conservatives are afraid of change,
and
so they don't won't change.
He refuses to, you know.
So Biden will give you a bit more of the same as far as, but what he'll give us that we're missing right now is stability.
Yes.
The whole point is not to change your mind or be political. The whole point, I mean, it's hard to not talk about people in power who are swaying the masses. And you know, by now I've already posted the rainbow reaction, where on the intro I talk about I show the evangelicals and their undying support for the most immoral, horrible person on the planet. Well, not the most. I mean, Hitler, obviously, and I can make an argument for a lot worse
There's
people.
a lot of really bad people.
But certainly the most inept and dangerous person in America.
Yes, that we know of.
And they're throwing their support
Most
because
powerful.
obviously they want to overturn abortion and things like that. So they're
Yes.
willing to let America and democracy possibly get destroyed.
Right.
In an
Amazing.
effort to simply do that one thing.
Amazing.
And that is a religious problem. That is a problem that, because a woman has to have the power over her own body to choose, and even morally, a woman, you're trying to impose.
Really, though.
It's just more religious bullshit. The one thing that freaking annoys me about religion more than anything, and this is all religion, is the control over women's bodies. It's like religion was almost created to control women.
Religion is always in the control business. And that's something people don't really understand. It's in the guilt-producing control business. And if you have heaven as a place where you're rewarded for your goodness and hell as a place where you're punished for your evil, then you sort of have control of the population. And so they create this fiery place, which has quite literally scared the hell out of a lot of people.
Whatever.
Whatever.
Whatever. Just throw your dislike and move on. It's fine. You don't give a shit.
Oh my
anymore.
goodness. Moving forward, not side. We're not going to always agree. Listen, hell, we had our very first thumbs down from one of our patrons.
Because we were talking about Trump, yeah.
Yeah,
we got a secret Trump supporter.
Listen, okay, it's okay. It's okay.
I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I don't even know why I do this, because it's not like they ever going to change their mind. I don't even know why I bother.
Because we have the
Just venting
right
for the sake
to
of
voice
venting.
our opinions
Sure.
and our thoughts and to
Sure.
share it how we please. And that's what we're doing.
It's just...
We're not robots. We have feelings, okay? We have thoughts and emotions. And
I just want to find a way to cure stupidity. It's so frustrating.
I would love to find a way to cure hate, and hate is derived from stupidity.
And cue the obvious person who talks about God and says that I'm the one who is stupid because I am not seeing the light of God, and then he's gonna throw a bunch of make-believe my way and to prove me wrong. It's frustrating. It's so frustrating.
Moving forward, not sideways, baby. Are you done?
I can go all day. Shit.
I know. Are you done?
I'm gonna choose to be done. Sure.
Okay, baby. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this reaction video. And if you did, please give us a thumbs up. Comment below. Do not leave without subscribing, but also do share our content as well. Thank you.
Hit the button to get notified, and as always,
keep it metal. Metal forever, baby. Love you guys. Be good
Love
to
y'all.
yourselves and others, okay?
Please. Not too much to ask.
Maybe it is for them. We can't be speaking for people. Some people, it is very difficult to wake up on the right side of the bed. It's difficult for them to go out into the world around people and to be happy and jovial and.
I'm not asking you to be happy. I'm just asking you not to be an asshole.
Even that. Some people are just born and wake up feeling like a piece of shit, and they want to make others feel like a piece of shit.
Well, then tell me what we can do to make your life better so you can make the world better.
You asking these questions, man. Let me tell you something right now. Listen.
I'm here to help. What do you need?
Teacher, I swear.
And you repeat everything they say. The good, the bad, and the fucking horrific. They stick a star in your forehead. You're a big boy. The big people like me. You get on with your life. You go to college. You get a master's degree in English like this redneck dude had. He invents the new duck whistle, or whatever the hell you call it. All right? Yours goes whack, whack. Mine goes whack, a fucking whack. Dude makes $1 zillion, gets his own TV show. He's loving life. And out of nowhere, here comes that same question 60 years later from Sunday school, and he stands up like the Manchurian Candidate. Jesus likes hookers and lepers, doesn't like the queers. And everybody freaks the fuck out. And he's like, oh, that's what they said. And they're all dead. Oh, where'd everybody go? I thought I was a good boy. And you're just this scared old man getting yelled at in a boat. I don't understand why a group like GLAAD, all right? I always forget, it's gay, lesbian, whatever the fuck it stands for, all right? Why do they go after the old guy in the boat? Why don't they go after the people writing the book, all right? Go, hey, could you please tear it out if, you know, those couple of pages, right? They're not gonna do that. That's the Vatican. They're their own city. They got a wall around their own city. They're brushing off cases of pedophilia like it's nothing. They're not taking their call. Oh, what happened? Really? Go fuck yourself. Click. They don't care.
Your idol scream.